Late last year, we told you about how dozens of people convicted of violent crimes could be released early from prison. Oregon Governor Kate Brown commuted sentences for 74 people. And this is happening because they were convicted when they were teenagers. And Oregon has since changed the way it tries and sentences teens following new research into the way their brains work. In fact, here's a piece of the story that we did back in November.
The science shows a couple of things. One, that young people are more prone to impulsive, high-risk decisions. We know that they're more vulnerable to peer pressure, and we also know that they have enormous capacity for change.
Brain science is basically, adolescents and young adults is the back part of our brain is connecting to the front part of our brain. In that connecting phase, we call it adolescence. That's where impulsivity, that's where thrill seeking is at its peak. And that's often what's behind a lot of our in the moment situations that have gotten our young people in trouble.
Now, we should note it's not a guarantee. Everyone will still have to go through the parole process. And as you might expect, though, even with that qualifier, not everyone is happy that Governor Brown has commuted these sentences. In fact, many district attorneys are angry. After all, they prosecuted these cases, some of them violent ones like murder and rape, and they fought for these sentences. So now they're suing the governor, claiming she's rushing these commutations and not following the legal process for actually reducing sentences.
In each one of those cases, the victim or the surviving family members were told that the defendant was being sentenced to a specific term of incarceration and that they would not have to worry about the release of that person early or seeing them on the street until the identified date. And so now there has been no thought to what the victims of these very violent crimes have gone through.
And speaking of the family of these victims, we've heard from a lot of them, and many are also furious about this. They feel like the governor hasn't taken their trauma into consideration. Melissa Grassel is an example. She joined the lawsuit against Governor Brown. Her partner, Austin French, was murdered in 2006 by his brother, Casey French, who was 17 at the time. Casey shot Austin in the head 3 times, and Melissa found Austin's body. We apologize there. Casey French, for his part, admitted to the crime, but he says he's grown up a lot in the last 16 years. In 2020, French wrote an article for theappeal.org. It's titled, "I killed my brother when I was 17. Now I'm saving lives in prison." He talked about getting sober in prison, learning how to make better choices, and mentoring other incarcerated people. He wrote, "From what I've seen, most juvenile lifers have a budding conscience. We're reaching toward compassion, accountability, contributing something of value and significance. And society may have thrown us away," he continued. "But our community refuses to let our peers suffer without at least trying to help them. We are all hopeful that if we one day gain our freedom, we can become an even greater resource as volunteers on the outside. Until then," he said, "we will not be complacent. We're doing the best we can with what we have." Melissa Grassel says she's read his appeal and she's not sold.
He still doesn't have any kind of remorse for his victims, for me, for his brother, for his aunt that lost a nephew, for his grandma that lost a grandson. There's no sign of remorse at all. And that's what's scary to me, because if he can commit that kind of a murder to the one person that was willing to take him in when he had nobody, and that he can kill that person, it makes me wonder what else he's capable of if he's not sorry.
So prosecutors say it doesn't matter how much someone has grown up or changed or how much the science has evolved. They say the governor is trying to circumvent the legal process and that it could have, they believe, dangerous implications if people are released without thorough consideration. We have reached out to Governor Brown's office, and they say the clemency process takes 6 months or longer because they gather information from law enforcement, from prison officials, and from the victims. And they told us, quote, the governor understands that families may have concerns when someone is being considered for clemency, which is why she takes the review process very seriously. The governor does not grant clemency without considering input from the victim through the DA.